Old dog. You know, I often say that when we go to a house that we are not familiar with and the dogs are not familiar with us, we say old dog. Welcome back to Sunrise. Every day, countless dogs and cats roam the streets of Jamaica, abandoned and alone, facing harsh reality that includes hunger, illness, and danger. These are not just stray animals, they are lost souls in need of compassion and a second chance at life. We welcome dog trainer Jermaine Powis to share more about these stories. You know, Jermaine, I was just saying to Karen just a couple of days ago when we were in a community and we saw some dogs, and we said, well, if it was outside of the country or in some other community, people would be so concerned. So what is he doing on the road? Who is his owner? What's his name? So is it commonplace, firstly, for those viewers who are not aware? Is it commonplace to see a stray dog or a cat anywhere in Jamaica? Yes, it is. It's very common. Whoa.
You know, I want to ask you, we see strays all the time, and maybe, you know, somebody might think to rescue a stray, to call somebody to help rescue a stray, maybe even eventually adopt. Can you train an old, yeah, because a lot of stray animals have been strays for a while. They learn a whole different way. Can you then turn around and train that animal, domesticate that animal?
Yes, you can.
Really?
Yes, you
can.
Then
when we say you can't train an old dog, you know, teach an old dog new trick, though?
I don't believe in that part, though. Because, like, it's just steps. You understand? It's just steps with the right approach.
The right approach, because after you see the dog, you don't know, you know, is there a recommended approach? Because...
So therefore, if you have a stray and you normally see a stray comes, 90% of the time they want food, water. So you just start giving them some water, little by little, you know, take your time approaching him. The water there today, every day, I guarantee you that dog will come a little bit closer to you until you finally get to pet that dog or even take him inside your home.
So it's about building that trust.
Building that trust, building that bond with them.
Have you ever rescued a stray? Like, that's a part of what you do?
Yes, I do rescue stray and I give it to other persons for rehooming purposes. Because I have Akitas, as you know, and they are dominant dogs, so they don't like do well with other breeds. However, as I said, with the strays now, yes, I do that. I even have strays that I feed in my community through the True Care program packages. So they give me a bag of food per month. So I feed them, yes. So, one Milky, Dingo, and I think
I'll name them.
Yeah, Milky, Dingo, and
yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Why is your specialty Akitas? What characteristics are Akita characteristics that
they are very dominant.
Oh, they're dominant.
Very, very dominant.
Okay.
Very,
trainable.
Trainable. Trainable, but they are the most stubborn breed to work with, though. So when someone call and say, hey, I have a dog for training and I have Akita, I'm like, this is a beta challenge.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to get back a little bit to the strays now, and I want to say, you know, okay, I'm driving along, walking along, I see a stray. What are some of the do's and don'ts? If I'm interested in helping this animal, is it that I'm grabbing my True Pet food and keeping a little with me and then going to feed this animal? Because you mentioned the one thing a stray would definitely be looking for all the time is food. And water. So I don't want to, what are the do's and don'ts?
Okay, so you want the animal for yourself?
No, I just want to get to a point where maybe I can just help the animal to be able to then call in a rescue, to be able to say, hey, JSPCR or
you can,
Kingston Angels,
JSPCA, Kingston Angels, Montego Bay Animal Haven, depends on where you are.
Right.
You can call him and, you know, say, hey, I see a stray here, anyway you guys would help get it off the road, find a new home for it. Simple as that.
But in the meantime, I can feed.
You can feed.
I can leave water, but I mustn't try to be petting.
Don't just try to pet it like that, because you know some of them are intimidated, because some of them have been ill-treated. So you know, you with the wrong approach, you know, going into that animal, you probably get a nip.
Right, put yourself in danger.
But you asked Tami, you want it for yourself. Are there different approaches if you want to just report them and get the authorities to come and pick them up, or you want them for yourself? Is there a particular different approach?
So like for me, you know, if I wanted it for myself, I know how to approach that animal day by day by day. However, I'm not sure if you guys know how to do that. So I wouldn't recommend that you guys do it. I would say, hey, check with JSPCA, let them find a stray for you. In the meanwhile, I can still feed that one on the road and get in contact with them, say, hey, again, as I said, a stray is here, we like to get it off the road.
Plus, the animal may need shots. The animal may need wound treatment. So, you know, there's other things that they may require before you can even bring them into your home. But I just wanted to know, you know, maybe we just need to have more of a heart for our strays. So even if it's that you have some food and you say to yourself, all right, I got to take care of Milky or Dingo, even though I can't take them into my home or find a home for them, the least I can do is provide food for them. I see a lot of like places do that for cats, like they'll leave food out for cats, and then that establishment has that cat as their company cat, you know. But we don't necessarily do it for dogs. Just being kind though is a good first step. Just saying, hey, let me just set out some food for you.
Very good steps.
Got it. I like that.
You know what would be significant if you could share with us if there's a story of a particular dog like Milky or Dingy where you saw them in a particular state, you helped them, and then you saw the dog months later and it's a complete
back to health and strength.
No, it's every day. As I said, Milky, Dingo, they're not mine, you know, but I know which share they came out of. Right, so they always strayed in our community, and so I started feeding them, and Milky had, I think it was like 5 kids. I named them like Mutumbo, Kwang Kwang, and Kwang Kwang, and Bushumpeng. Yeah, so I named them. No, so
Mutumbo, Kwang Kwang, Bushumpeng.
Yeah, so I named them. Right? So you know, then I feed them. Normally feed them after. Then one day I realized that one disappeared. I was like,
Yeah.
Then one more disappeared again. Then I realized that someone took them.
Oh.
But you know, it pained me to see that someone took them, but it was okay that they took them. You know, find better home for them. And then it's Mutumbo Kwang Kwang. Yes, it's Mutumbo is there.
Mutumbo, she's Mutumbo
there.
knows she's Mutumbo and not Kwang Kwang.
Yeah, she knows whenever you call her, she's kind of show her teeth and she comes to you.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm sure, Jermaine, that your work and your efforts towards stray animals must change the community's idea a little bit too. Like, you know, when people around you see you doing something, it must inspire somebody else to be like, you know, boy, maybe I could have done the same. Even if it's a younger person saying, you know what, I want to help an animal too. So I love that, and I think it's back to that idea that if each one do something and we do something different and out of the norm, you can really change people. You know,
you can change people. You know, I've changed a few persons. You know, in my community as well. You know, start feeding dogs, taking care of them.
Yeah.
Almost I think it's every yard in my community have a dog.
Yeah. So we need to get more true pet food to you then.
That can be
all the
arranged.
dogs can be all right.
Yes.
I love that. And I love the idea that you also train dogs. So how can people be in touch with you if they want to reach out about maybe training their
You can contact my Instagram at j_powis or 876-4040-161.
Awesome.
That's my WhatsApp number. You can just WhatsApp me at any time.
Perfect. Thank you so much for being here today.
Even if it's not an Akita.
Yes.
Even if it's not an Akita.
Especially if it isn't an Akita. All right, thanks so much for being here. Our guest has been Jermaine Powis, dog trainer. It's now time for a short break, but when we return, we get a sneak peek into the cut. Yeah, stick and stay, as IT would say. Are we doing a sneak peek already?